If you listen to most stories about why a construction project fails, they usually go like this. Oh, the contractor or my relative ran away with the money. I bought materials that were of poor quality. The builder that I got, he didn't know what he was doing. What if I told you that all these three stories have something in common, which is the main reason why most construction projects fail? Poor planning. Here are 5 things that you need to think about before you start a construction project. First, you need to think about what is it that you're trying to build. You need a plan. And to get that, you need a registered architect. In most towns in Zimbabwe, you can't even build a house if you just get an architect who's still coming out of school. You need to have, by law, you need to have your house drawn out by a qualified architect. You need to speak to them about everything that you want to have in your house. This saves you money later when you don't have to make any changes to the houses. I normally see a lot of people on social media platforms say, hey, does anyone have a plan for a 3-roomed house? Well, guess what? This plan was someone else's vision of what they wanted to have in their own house. So as the builder starts to build, you might see some things on the plan that you do not like. And making those changes during the building of the house is going to cost you a lot of money. After you have your plan, you know what you want to build, then you need a list of all the materials that you need. All the materials, even something as small as the nails, you need to know about it. Those costs can pile up. You can't just ignore them. So there's a list that is professionally known as a bill of quantities. It shows you all the materials that are needed in order to build your house. But not only just that, you need to know where you're going to buy your materials. You can't just walk out of the house and then start asking people on the street, where can I buy this? And most people usually want to go where they find the cheapest prices. Well, let me tell you this. There's a reason why the cheapest prices are the cheapest prices. But in construction, let me tell you, cheap is not always cheap. Once you have the list of materials and you know where you're going to buy your materials, you also need to know who is going to build the house, the labor. Don't just take a builder because a friend of yours said that they are good. Ask some questions. What are your qualifications? Have you ever built a house before? Can I speak to some of your previous clients? Some of these questions can help you to sift out the good from the bad. But once you have your labor, you also need to know how much it's going to cost to pay those builders or those artisans. And the last thing that you need to think about before you start building your house is the timeline. This is what most people don't take time to think about. But let me tell you this, if you don't think about how long it's going to take to build the house, if you don't talk about it with the builder, sometimes they're going to drag out. And the longer that it takes to build a house, the more expensive it's going to cost you. Because every day that those people are going to spend on your site, you are going to spend some money. There are overheads like the food that they will be eating, the transport that they will be using to come to your site. These are costs that will eventually pile up, and they will add on to the expense report after you finish your project. So you really need to know how long it's going to take to build your house, so that you know how to track the progress to see if you are making any progress towards finishing the project. So in short, you do need to have what we know as a construction plan. And this is what puts all these together. Your plan, what you're trying to build, your budget, how much it's going to cost you to build the house, and your timeline, how long it's going to take you to build the house. Once you have this construction plan, this will help you to track the progress of your work. Even if it's just a very small house, you need to have that construction plan so that you finish the house on time within the budget that you stipulated you're going to spend on building that house. I'm Sydney Machokoto with Porcupine Group. I'll see you.